in connection with the bulldozer action case in the Supreme Court. Big observations have been made by the top court today. While the Supreme Court, while hearing the matter, has said that public safety is paramount and there is a need for encroachments to go. Families must get time to relocate, and also no protection will be given for encroachers. But at the same time, we can't see women, elderly, children on road, and law should not depend on religion. All right, my colleague Sunil Prabhu is also now joining us on the broadcast here. He is getting us more on this. Well, Sunil, what more can you tell us? What happened in the court today?
Well, very important hearing, and I think they have now all set to give guidelines and directions. It's in this case where, you know, they've quoted, in fact, the Vishaka guidelines which were given by the Supreme Court, which has now become the benchmark for women's safety and women's decorum and women's dignity in workplaces. On the same grounds, they are going to issue guidelines and directions for, you know, what is now popularly called as bulldozer justice, where we have seen people seeing repatriation, demolitions taking place. This was a reference by one of the councils saying in Jangapuri there was, you know, reprisal demolitions that took place. The media was there. It was done for TRP. And it's in that backdrop now that the Supreme Court, assisted by the Solicitor General, who didn't take an adversarial role, has very categorically said and agreed with the Supreme Court in terms of the fact that a certain timeline should be given so that, as Justice Viswanathan pointed out, women and children to be seen on the streets is not a good sight. They are not encroaching or going beyond their remit, but at this present stage, they are quite clear that while we are not going to, we are very clear that, you know, encroachments on public places, on footpaths, on railway lines, we are not going to be doing that. But where it is coming under a municipal corporation, an action to be taken to ensure that there is no reprisal, there will be an oversight of a judicial committee, of a judicial court to actually overlook this entire matter. And that's the reason for why they have now reserved orders. The interim stay will continue till they finally pass their orders.
Okay, we'll wait for that and, you know, for more details to come in. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court also said that the law should not depend on any religion. We are a secular country. If you could help us understand in what context the court said so?
Oh, that's actually a long-standing point. In fact, the Supreme Court has even referred to it to a committee for religious, you know, sites, wherever people try to say, even if it's a temple, mosque, or any religious structure for that matter, if it is on public land, there is a committee which looks into it and then decides whether it should be encroached or not and how they go about that process. So that's something that was mentioned today, and that is how finally even Justice Viswanathan, who has been in the bar, was talking about the fact that there is a committee to look into this, and then they finally decide on the matter, on the pros and cons, and it's in that context. So no religious structure, be it a particular religion, will be spared if it is on public property or if it's been it's an encroachment. But definitely an overview will be required to be done, and that is already in place. And in the same context, for bulldozer justice, which has now become the norm in states like Gujarat or in Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh, there will be a procedure that will have to be followed, not instant justice as we've been seeing in recent times.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sunil, for getting us all those details there.